my life, I've gone back and forth between North and East London. These areas are multicultural. We'd have pirate radio stations that were broadcasted from someone's house. You just become a sponge for that type of energy. You couldn't go outside of East London because you wouldn't catch those pirate radio broadcasts. You'd have to be in neighbouring areas to receive those signals.
Yo, lyrical tank, boxing empty like my name was Frank.
Dizzy rascals on a rooftop clashing with somebody. It's like, and you go to school to talk about it the next day.
Now I'm gonna get up, go to the shop and get a 10 pack.
Big Vic.
Yes.
Yes.
KG in the building.
Happy New Year.
Oh, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
All good, all good, all good.
I started producing young, the tender age of like 6, 7. My gateway into production was actually through gaming. I think it was Cool Borders 2 that I had on the PlayStation. And the soundtrack was just like liquid drum and bass and jungle. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is like 160, but it's soulful. I guess my senses peaked for how sounds were made. I learned how to just understand sound and melodies and chord progressions and see what kind of worked with what.
All right.
Today, I'm just gonna record some like textures, like some vocal textures, a bit of phrasing with percussion as well, just kind of add a bit of body to the demo that I'm working on.
Yeah.
I loved to dance as a child, like anything that would make me move. I just had this affinity or pull towards rhythm.
Yeah, see if you can do like some rolls like...
Okay. People would make reference to that, like, oh, hey, like you have this thing where your drums, like it's just different. You know, you'd use your bass lines as drums and your drums as bass lines. Like it's just there's a way in which I kind of develop my own signature and flair. Because now you can get this from sample banks, but it's like, you want your own physical connection to what you're making. Hey! I always think about how this would translate in the club. And sometimes with like chants, it animates the listener. Seeing how effectively like a studio experience can really help you contextually build a song. It really adds to the whole thing. Like, I think it's just that natural synergy with obviously your engineer, the people that you're working with. It's like the car test, for example. That's when you know it's a hit, when it's bumping in the car.
Yeah. There's a vibe in the studio that you get.
Yes.
That you don't get anywhere else. It then eventually translates into the club.
This is effectively the club before the club.
Literally.
As you DJ, you kind of gauge what's reactionary. How I produce music, I translate those methods into the way I play. And it's like the phrasing, it's about the tension release. This is about really creating an experience out of like the library of music that you have. I want to give them something that they haven't heard before. Having been thrown into music technology from such a young age, I've always wanted to kind of explore more, really. Just kind of looking deep into it. We all have production tools and have used production tools to enhance or streamline our workload. It is already just a part of my process, as we were talking about denoising and de-essing vocals, and there are things in place already, you know, with plugins that we use that are, you know, AI before it was AI. I looked at this project as one of those things that could potentially help emerging producers. The Aimi app gives you the opportunity to be quite hands-on with how you digest and consume the music. It makes it personal, seeing how sounds are put together. If I didn't have that experience initially growing up as a child, I wouldn't have really built an attachment to production in that way. This is their PlayStation, you know? This could be their entry point into making real beats. I can see me using AI in some aspects when it comes to like self-sufficiency in initial stages, like just building an idea So it's good enough to present before getting humans involved, which I always will do because I feel like nothing beats a human touch. Why does everyone dance like that on TikTok?